Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Touching Tips, a podcast dedicated to the world of PSVR2. My name is Karen Alive and Well, and I'll be introducing your hosts. From the west of Ireland, he is a visionary, a leader, a sensual and generous lover, as I can attest. Petrifying Pumpkins. Pumpkins was once a successful businessman before a tragic incident left him with stage 2 ligma of the mind. No longer able to run his multinational POG corporation, Pumpkins turned to his other passion, PSVR. Hence this channel and later podcast were born. Pumpkins is famous all over the world thanks to the various Easter eggs dedicated to him in PSVR exclusive Firewall 0 Hour. Most famously, if you go to the hangar map in the air control tower, you will see radar screens with various aircraft designations that, when combined, spell out Petrifying Pumpkins. It really does make him better than you. From Mexico, he has many names: El Chupacabra, El Fuego, El Pasión. But around here we call him Mr. 777 or Jackpot. Mr. 777 moved to the United States as a wee lad. A former Xbox fan, Jackpot gave up on Team Green when he discovered the future is virtual reality, and has been on PlayStation since. Jackpot lives with his mother in her basement. She reached out to Pumpkins, begging him to let Jackpot be a co-host as she worries about his lack of social communication skills, as you will soon see for yourselves. He turned to marijuana at a young age and has reached a stage where if he were to ever stop smoking, the shock to his system would kill him immediately. Jackpot has a heavily stained pillow that he calls Amanda. He believes that she is real and that he is in a long-term relationship with her. His catchphrase is, "Bitch." And finally, all the way from the frigid wastes of Canada, comes Muzz. Muzz has a passion for maple syrup and discussing PSVR2. He once got lost in the frozen tundra of northern Canada with his best friend. The ordeal was harrowing and led to Muzz eating the remains of his friend in order to survive. Shortly after, Muzz turned to VR gaming as a way to escape the horrors of the reality he leaves every time he puts on the headset. It's worth noting that while Muzz maintains his best friend was dead before he began to consume him, later studies of the remains hinted at the possibility that the friend died from infections that were caused from bites, though due to a handling error, the evidence was deemed inadmissible and Muzz walked free. He also has a cat. Without further ado, let the show begin. I've been Karen Alive and Well, and I will now hand you over to the strong, sexy hands of Pumpkins. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and all that usual YouTube shite.
What the fuck is this?
Test 1 2 3. Jackpot has once again joined late, so you're going to see Muzz all over the place, and you're not going to see Jackpot for a second. So give me a second to adjust.
He always blames me for
It's
his
always
technical
his fault.
difficulties.
It is always his fault. He's always late. So I should be adjusting this beforehand. It's because he started doing crack, and it's messing with his timekeeping abilities. And there we go. It's fixed. Right. It's fixed. The test is good. Can you gentlemen talk?
Hey everybody.
Maybe we were muted this whole time.
Testicles.
There we go. I fixed. Sorry, Muzz. Let me check the chat, see who's there. I see Ray Schwartz is peeping. LSB shaking his head. LSB with an unhealthy obsession with Frank. I've noticed it's getting out of hand now. Every time I look at Discord, he's tagged me, and every time Frank posts a video, it's like, "Hey, your friend has posted this video." It's like, Jesus Christ, and he's like making gifs out of him and shit. But everyone has their hobbies, so if you want to be stalking Frank as a hobby, I'm not going to judge you. Zeke is there clapping his hands. How you doing, Zeke? Geisen is getting moist. Donnie is there. So sup, you bombs. Thank you very much. Smash the Thomas.
LSB's like, I was watching him get into his car the other day, and he dropped a wrapper. He dropped a wrapper on the ground. He was littering as he was getting in his car.
Your friend's hair smells like strawberries today, Pumpkin. Damn, he's got that fructus shampoo. It's the 11th commandment. He'd know it because the stone tablets weren't big enough. Oh, I see what you mean, Donnie. I see what you mean. Anyway, thank you. And the test is good, says Donnie as well. Thank you very much, Zeke. I hope you're keeping well. War Room is here. He says, Mr. Late Pot. How'd you like that?
Good
Get
one.
fucking wrecked.
Got
Get
him.
wrecked, Jackpot.
Got him.
Terrible. Embarrassing.
LSB is a head-shaking stalker. Yes, indeed he is. And he's laughing away in the chat. This is going to be... I know we say this, and I say it every time, but this is 100% the shortest one. 100% the shortest one. Have you looked at the document?
Of course, I did all the research.
So then
I
you
did
know.
hours
So
of
then you
research.
know it's the shortest one we'll have ever done, because not only is there like only like 5 or 6 topics, they're like not particularly like there's not much I can get out of them, you know. Well, listen, we'll get something out of the first one, I hope. But before we move on to that, because we want to pad the time in a little bit, have you been? Yes, have you been doing anything the last week or so? Since the last episode of Touching Tips, playing any games, you know?
Yes.
Helldivers.
The only game there is to play right now. Okay, you gotta spread democracy all around the universe.
So you're in love with that game now?
Yes,
absolutely.
We need it in VR. It's good. It's fun.
It's not going to happen.
Never going to happen.
I'm just saying we need something like that in VR. It's really good. It's fun.
It's got like massive bugs in it too. Like, they'd look cool in VR if you're like, it'd be like Farpoint, you know, the big spider thing.
Yeah. But the cool thing about it is I think the different types of customization you can do with your weapons, and I don't mean weapons like trinkets. I mean like there's different bombs you can throw. I didn't know. Like some dude threw a fucking nuke. I didn't know that was a thing because sometimes you can get killed by your friends, friendly fire, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but if you were thinking about buying it, buy it. Obviously, right now there's some server issues that they're fixing, but the game is fucking good.
Yeah, it's breaking records.
Its only problem is that it's like doing too good. Basically, people can't join because the servers are full. So too many people are trying to play it than they expected. So
I think I saw somewhere like
it's a problem, but in terms of problems, that's a good problem.
Yeah.
The first Helldivers was when it was like a twin stick shooter. Like the peak they had on Steam was like 6,000 and something players, and now it's at 400 and something thousand concurrent players, and it's like they couldn't have predicted that or whatever, so that's why they're having all these issues. Warham says Helldivers 2 is fun. I've been seeing like loads of memes about it and shit, so when that happens, you know, the PC people have enjoyed it because they make memes about games more than anyone. I can't prove it, I just know they do.
I don't play with randoms. I hate playing with randoms. I usually don't play a game if it's with random. But for some reason, this game I'm having a lot of fun. So now I can't wait to even play with people that I know because it's gonna be even more fun. So
playing with Amanda, she on PC and you on PS5.
No, she doesn't like this game. She
Spreading
likes fucking
democracy.
Animal Crossing.
House flipping.
No, she's a commie. Yeah.
She's a commie. All right, she's one of the insects. She's an insect.
You need to spread democracy. give her some democracy and freedom.
Is that innuendo for? Well, I'll let you fill in the blank.
Tonight I'll spread some democracy all over the wall.
And it's time for some democracy. Anyway, Muzz, what have you been up to now that you finished Horizon Call of the Mountain? I suspect your life is feeling a bit empty and cold, and you're like an empty husk of a man.
Yeah, I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah,
it's all over. It's all over. I don't
just pulls out a gun and shoots himself in the head live on stream.
Well, bye everybody.
That would be good for content, Muzz. All right, consider it.
You would get some views. You would get some views.
Think about the health of the channel. Think about the health of the channel, Muzz. I did the television. Somebody has to do something else. All right.
Well, we'll call that a last resort. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
No, I'm just same old. Just working and sleeping when I'm not working.
Damn.
That's basically it.
Living that soul crushing lifestyle.
Oh yeah, living the dream. Living the dream.
Danny says, "Are you all talking about Flatty? What has this channel come to?" Listen, that's what happens if you bring Jackpot on the team. He's gonna.
So there's nothing else to talk about. What else is there to talk about VR besides fucking that game? Are we gonna talk about the fucking sword game that I'm kind of done with?
Legendary Tales. I knew you rage quit, pretending that you had a bug that we couldn't hear you.
No, I did. I did have a bug, but also I was getting.
It's a lie.
Yeah,
you rage quit.
Yeah, my moisture level for that game is lower. And that's not
honestly. It's been dropping for me too. It's been dropping for me too.
It's not a bad game, but it just hasn't been hitting the spot. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a really good foundation in there, the combat system and stuff. But it's just like they don't let you. Well, obviously, it's my fault because I'm not doing things right, obviously, and I don't know enough about it, and I refuse to read all the manuals and the boards and click through everything and learn everything and how it works. I don't want to do all that. But I'm just frustrated that as I'm getting stronger, the enemies are getting stronger. I never feel like I'm getting any progress going there. And maybe the level 1 area where you start off, where I can like pick up the skeletons and diddle them to my heart's content, and like that's it. I can't enjoy the rest. Obviously, if I keep playing and I'll grind more and whatever, but I don't know. It's losing its charm for me a little bit.
Yeah, I think it has like a bit of a slow burn. I think you need to like play it long enough to start getting all like the cool weapons and stuff to make it start. You know, feeling
once I unlock a legendary weapon, then maybe that changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, like there's like a crazy axe you can like throw and like call it back to you, like a Kratos, the Kratos axe, like that kind of stuff. Which I don't know how long we have to play to get to it, because it could be like.
But you can't really throw weapons in the game, though, can you? Like
Yeah,
kind of difficult to throw.
Actually, I wasn't too far off. So after you guys jumped off, I stayed on, and I just tried to level up a little bit so I could unlock these fire. I can like summon fire axes in both hands, like 2 like flaming axes, and I can swing them and hit somebody, but as soon as I hit somebody, like the axe will just explode and then the enemy goes flying, and like I don't have the axe, I have to resummon it. But I can do that with both axes, or I can just chuck the axe and it goes like so far, like I can just look at somebody, throw the axe, and it will just like and,
like home in on them.
Yeah, and pretty much like I always hit, like no matter who I'm aiming at, I will just go straight at them and hit them.
That sounds pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but then I just have to resummon the axes again to like throw them again or swing them. But yeah, it's pretty cool when you start getting the better stuff.
Donathan says, at Muzz, stop lugging into the camera trying to collect the souls of the viewers. Won't work on me. I haven't gotten it yet. Damn, don't listen to him, Muzz. Look into the camera. Harvest souls. Worm says, I feel like enemies are pretty weak when I play solo. So maybe because I'm constantly playing multiplayer and that like buffs every enemy. The game feels better solo, says Warroom. Okay, so maybe we're playing it wrong. Maybe I'm experiencing it at its worst rather than its best. But we're not talking shit about Legendary Tales. We're here to talk about the news topics and whatnot, which there's not too many of. But we'll start off with probably the most interesting one, which is the 1-year anniversary for PSVR2, which is coming up.
Is that the most interesting topic we're talking about?
I think so. Because it's a lot of potential there if Sony acknowledges. So before you say they're not going to do anything, it's just an anniversary, blah, 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 blah. I specifically remember, I could be wrong, but I do specifically remember when PSVR 2 turned 2 for the 2nd year anniversary, they announced Borderlands 2. Could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like that came along with that announcement.
But that was the 2-year mark, though. You just said.
It was, yeah. But
are you saying you think they're going to announce something? A game?
What did they do after 1 year?
I don't remember. I don't know if they did anything. So it could be like, listen, it could be. It's just a little indication that maybe they could save something. Like I still think the chances are low. Maybe a 10% chance that they show off the big 2024 game for PSVR 2 that we don't know about yet. But will they even acknowledge us? I mean, they did reach out to me. Fire Sprite reached out to me about the Horizon Call of the Mountain trailer thing, so they'll probably have a trailer out for Horizon at the very least. But surely PlayStation will have something. Like, will they update us on sales? Or, we've got 2 million units out there, which I don't think so. I don't even know if they've hit 1 million yet.
Yeah. Who knows?
But it'd be nice to get some kind of an update there.
I'm sure you can find out somewhere how many they're selling, but I don't know where to look for that kind of stuff.
The dude, actually, the developer behind Legendary Tales, the Korean fella, BJ, I think his name is, BJ. He's nice. Nice. He said, according to his research, and obviously it wasn't official, but just based on what he was saying with other developers and stuff, he thinks it's at around 1.3 million, which is after a year. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
good. I mean, considering the marketing has been bad, the price is still up at like it's still more expensive than the PS5 to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they're gonna drop the price.
They
They might
gotta.
lower it
They
by
have
Christmas
to.
time.
Are
If
you
it's
saying
not-
like
Yeah, they
tomorrow?
have to
Like
do
you
a
don't?
lot of stuff that they haven't done it. So why would they
Man.
change?
They have to drop
Because
the price.
it's only been a year. They wouldn't do a price drop in the first year. But I
No,
mean,
they
if they
should.
Christmas.
But you're
well-
you're saying they will do one, but not until Christmas. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying if they do one, like I agree with Musk, it's not gonna be right now. If they do one, it might be for Christmas, but I don't know, dude. I don't think they're gonna. They should, but I don't think they would.
Yeah, I think they might.
I don't think they're
like,
going to.
But if they're looking at the sales and they're, it's 1.3 million. That's a guess. Let's pretend that's the real number. It's still fairly soft. It's a year in. They're probably thinking to themselves, well, we've put out a lot of good games in the first year. So if it's not the games that are preventing this from being a runaway success, what else is it? And the obvious answer is the price. So then they have to say to themselves, well, how do we cut the price of this? Because they're not cutting the price of the PS5. They've said that. So
right.
they're
many
If
making money on
anything,
PS5.
if anything, it's just going to be more expensive. If the rumors of the Pro are true, then it's going to be more expensive to get the PS5 probably.
How many headsets did PSVR 1 sold?
In total, 6 million at the end.
Okay.
So that was like 7 years of sales. I don't even know if PSVR2 is going to outsell PSVR1. I know it was outpacing us after like a few months, but I don't know if it's
Yeah.
continued that.
I don't know where it was at a 1 year mark.
Yeah,
For
I know. It's,
PSVR.
I should have taken note of all these.
It's just
things.
very expensive, dude. It's just like to say, how much is it? Is it more expensive than the console, huh? Especially if you get a digital version or like
Yeah.
a non-disc
Yeah.
PS5.
Yeah.
It's too much money, dude. It's too much money.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they need to drop the price.
I know, but they won't.
But they have to. I mean, it's a long, like, I know it's a chicken and egg, a risk situation where they drop the price, more people buy them. That means they sell more games, so they make the money back that way. I mean, that should be the idea. That should be
Well,
what
if
you
it's
want to do.
If it's already failing in their eyes, let's say for instance, if it is already failing in their eyes, then they have nothing to lose. Like just start selling it at a, like just try something to try to get it back on track, right? Like why would they just like, all right, well it's not doing as well as we thought, but let's not lower the price and just like hope that suddenly everybody wants to buy it.
The only
Probably not
reason
a
I
good
can think of is that maybe they're already making losses on us. Like maybe it's already more expensive to make than it is to buy. So that they're like, well, no, we can't afford to drop that any further. Maybe, I don't know, but you'd imagine after a year, some of those production costs would have dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe tomorrow they announce this on the 22nd. Actually, well, 2 days time, but technically for me, the 22nd. Actually, I got mine the 21st. Remember, my shit came in early in the post by a day. That was a great time.
Nobody cares.
It's 1 year anniversary of that day. I was playing GT7. Man, what a magical time that was.
Living in the future.
But yeah, it's the 1 year anniversary is gonna, makes you think. The first year has been very, very good in terms of library. I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
What about year
I
two?
think I think the first year has been pretty good. I just like to know more than what we have. Like, how many games do we have announced, like that we know of that we're actually interested in? Like,
Well, good for you.
4
Like,
or
remember
5?
we ranked like our most anticipated ones. It's like there's at least
Yeah.
like 6 like day ones
Yeah.
that we all agree on that we really want day one. There's a good few other ones that we're interested in.
Yeah, I think it's hard because I think there's gonna be obviously the people like the kids that are getting older and eventually they like video games and they buy VR. But for the most part, I feel like maybe people like the developers or like the company Sony and all of them, they got really excited because they saw the hype of VR happening. I'm gonna say it mainly because of the Quest, right? Everybody was fucking buying a Quest and all this shit. Even people that were not gamers. So the VR hype was very high. So I think the expectations were unrealistic. They expected more because of that hype. And I just don't think that people in general are so much into VR like we are, and it's hard to get those people like Mud says. The people that get dizzy are the people that think, ugh, that's just too much pain on the ass to put a. Because honestly, there's days, don't tell me maybe you're not, but there's days or like times it's like, I don't want to fucking put on a headset. I just want to lay down and play my fucking Steam Deck or just in the TV or something. So I feel like there's still those people, and that's why it's not selling as good as maybe people think because of that. I think extra boost on like last year, in my opinion, because of the Quest just sold a fuckload of, headsets.
Yeah, I shook my head when you said the Quest, but you're 100% right. So I'm just going to shake my head anytime you praise the Quest
That's fine.
in general. But I think
I'm not
you
praising
are...
the Quest. I'm just thinking
No, but
maybe
the
that's
success of
why
the Quest, like that's a reason behind it.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely feels like, at least right now with the way they're being so quiet, it feels like Sony are not committing to us. They're kind of just keeping a toe in the pool, even though it's a bad metaphor or analogy. But they're keeping a hand on the... I can't think of anything, but they're just keeping
God,
their foot in the door. They're keeping their foot in the door.
Listen.
That's the one. All right, it can't
Oh my
all right,
God.
in case it does
I even
take off,
forgot what was gonna say.
and then they'll
What was
fucking
I
come
gonna
into us. Listen, putting the penis in the vagina. All right, that's what they're trying to do.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
And then when it takes off, they fully commit. But because you brought up the Quest, I think the way things are going now, I feel like if there is a PSVR 3, and that's a big if, the way I see it, I think it's probably going to be like a Quest 3 situation or Quest situation where it is standalone, but you can connect it to the PS6 or something to get like an extra boost, which is what I thought maybe this would be PSVR 2. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do something like that.
But what's the demographic? Like, what do you think? Who do you think they are, or who they need to be targeting right now? I think that's an important question. Is it, like you say, people that can't afford it because it's fucking expensive, or do you think it's just they're trying, or they should go towards the people that maybe are not into VR and they're trying to convert them? Like, what will be the best strategy, you think?
I mean, they have to go for the people who are not like the current gamers, who are just like flat gamers. They have to try and figure out a way to get them into it because, let's say they go for the Wii or the Quest approach, where they get your granny buying it. That's good when it boosts the sales and stuff, but it's not good for like software. Like if you look at the attach rates on Quest games and stuff like that, like they're not playing Assassin's Creed 2. They're playing fucking Just Dance or some shit like that, or Beat Saber, and that's it.
Beat Saber.
That's the other thing too. Like I remember the first PlayStation VR, it had a really high attach rate for games, but I don't know how it is for the PSVR 2.
Yes, it did. You're right, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Hopefully they'll update. They might give us a whole bunch of stats when this anniversary comes out. That would be cool to see.
Just all doom and gloom. Like, no one's buying anything. We're just closing studios down.
Goodbye.
We're gonna wind it down now.
It was a good year. It was a good year, guys. Pat yourself
time
on the
to
back.
sunset. Time to sunset this thing.
There it is.
Sunset away.
There it is. Donnie says, "Is that part of your furry outfit behind you, Jackpot?" Didn't we say this exact same thing last week? Was it Donnie last week?
Yeah.
It was LSB.
Someone forgot.
Conversation about it, Donnie.
LSB says, "Hey PP, did you ever play Arizona Sunshine 2, or did you just skip that shit?" I skipped it. I was looking forward to it, and then it came out, and it was kind of like, it wasn't as well received as I would have liked. So I kind of said to myself, I'll just wait for like a pretty hefty price cut, because it was like one of those kind of $55 games, or like up there with that Legendary Tale price. And I'm sitting on it a little bit. I know you're playing it though. What do you think, LSB? And Mad Hasser says, "I have a feeling Sony will want everyone's attention on the PS5 Pro this year." I mean, they can't ignore PSVR 2. Oh, I mean, they can obviously, and they have been. But if they want it to be a success, like, they can't. And like the reason for it can't be because of PS4.
They're legally not allowed to. They're not allowed to forget about it.
Kids game, says Ezekiel, and that's what you're getting that's what's popular on the Quest, like Gorilla Tag and shit like that. That's what's really blown up over there. Among Us, as you can see on the screen right now, that's the kind of shit that is moving headsets that we kind of have to live with. But I think they need to crack the hardcore. The people like us who are like really into games and not researching, but looking them up all the time and seeing what's coming out and excited. But obviously motion sickness as well is a huge thing too. Like Muzz pointed out last week, like it's something we take for granted because we don't have it, but I think we're probably in the minority, like by a significant degree, like And I don't know how they fix this, and I don't know if they ever do fix this. Donnie says, "Frank just did a video on comparison of PSVR 2 and Quest 3 with valid points. Check it out." Thank you very much, Donnie. And LSB shaking his head, presumably because he already shared that to the Discord and smelled Frank's hair while he was doing it. But yeah, they have to drop the price. That's the thing they can do now. to make an impact. If they don't, then I don't know what they're expecting, because Resident Evil 8 didn't do it, Gran Turismo 7 didn't do it, Resident Evil 4 didn't do it. All these big games are not doing it, so bring down the price.
I say make a big impact. Say like $3.99 US. That's the new price.
Yeah,
and then people will be like, "Oh, all right."
Which would be a massive drop. Like, what's it,
Yeah, that'd be
550? I think it's 150 drop.
150. Yeah, that would be $150 off. Which
Yeah,
I
but
think
even at
that's
500 is too much.
But he's saying 399. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's perfect.
but even 399, you'll have people saying, "Well, that's too much." And I think they're right. I think if their dream number is the Quest 2. Remember, it was like 299 for a Quest. That's the
But that's
dream.
but you can't.
But then
You can't.
that's
I know.
why-
I know it's
you can't.
ridiculous. I know you can't. It's too much tech
you
inside
can't.
us. They can't.
That's
you can't.
why in the same show, when they say we're going to price drop it now, it's going to be $3.99. You got to follow up with, and here's what we're working on. We're going to have this and this coming out.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's not going to be a show. They're not going to do a show.
No.
Like, we got a blog post. That's what I'm expecting at best.
Yeah,
Blog posts.
we're not having our own state of play or anything. That's for sure.
That's not
Especially when they just had the news that they're not having any first party games come out this year for like PlayStation 5 in general. So they're not going to be like, oh yeah, we're not doing anything for flat screen games. VR people,
There you go.
here's some first party games coming to the VR2. Yeah.
Plus, they just did like 2 state of plays in the last couple of weeks as well, like the Final Fantasy one and then the other one.
What was that samurai game with throwing the fucking things in the dog? What game was that?
I think that's Arashi Castle of Sins. But that's another thing. This trailer is actually, which we should have talked about last week, maybe, that came out to kind of a new hype trailer. Every once in a while they do these kind of trailers where they're just like showing, but the games they're showing is like Arashi kind of looks cool, but I don't think it's one of the ones you want to be showing off. They show Resident Evil 4, which is like an obvious choice.
Yeah, and obviously they have Five Nights at Freddy's, because that's just a big franchise big name for kids.
Among Us as well, big name that kids will recognize, and I suppose in a way it's smart to show these. And Ghostbusters, obviously a big IP. So all of it's like, I understand why, but they're not showing the reasons we keep, like, they would never show a Legendary Tales and something like this.
Yeah, they might.
In this hype kind of a video, I don't know.
No, not in this.
It has a like skeleton fucking fighting sword fucking.
Well, yeah. Listen, I'm not saying it shouldn't be there. I'm saying like they never will, because they don't see.
Well, compared to these ones, no, because these are like really well known.
Yeah, that's what they're doing here. They're
the most
showing.
part,
Yeah, they're not showing the quality. They're showing like the known element.
Yeah, and Legendary Tales doesn't have like the polish of these games, like in terms of graphics and
That's true as well. That is true.
Textures, it doesn't look as good.
I mean, Aces of Thunder should be in here though. Get people. It's like show the variety. Gran Turismo 7 should be there.
Well, these are all games that are out. None of these games are coming soon. So
Gran Turismo 7 was like, it would seem like an obvious choice as well, but whatever.
Yeah.
AC6 says they need a software update to make it compatible with PSVR. A lot of people don't want a Quest, but also don't want a headset exclusive to one console. I mean, that could improve the sales of the actual headset itself.
Yeah,
but
if they open the fucking thing,
But I don't think it's making the big impact that some people claim. Like, I don't think it's like, because look at PSVR headset, like the Valve Index. That thing's not selling.
Yeah, it's not gonna explode, but I think it will definitely help.
That thing's still really expensive though. That Valve Index is not cheap still.
That's true as well. So then you need to put it on PC and cut the price of it, and they need to do a lot of stuff.
Well, if they put it on the PC, right, they just allow a software update, whatever, so you can fucking use it as a headset, like the Quest and whatever for PSVR. Like you said, they lower the price, and they allow the developers to work on the fucking rendering on the eyes and stuff. So I think that would be very appealing, because what I've noticed at least a little bit about PSVR people, or at least the ones that have been like more hardcore, like they really care about the fucking headsets that they use in order to. For me, I don't give a fuck. I'll just use a Quest 2 and it's fine. But I know that there's headsets that are more expensive that are way nicer. So I think this could be a really good sell if they do that. And I saw on Twitter somebody was able to do it, but there's just like a huge workaround, and it's not official and none of that shit.
Yeah, like the PSVR2 is good value for the technology that's inside it, but it just seems really expensive, because you need the PS5, and it's like a peripheral for the PS5, and it's more expensive than the PS5, so that like puts people off psychologically, I think. But the thing about moving it to PC, I think, which like doesn't move the needle too much, is that if you look at like the PSP, I think it was, which sold like 80 million, so that was like a really good seller. But a lot of people who bought that thing were just putting like it was very easy to get modded games and shit on that. So I feel like it'd be as like it wouldn't increase the sales of PSVR2 games necessarily. It would increase the sales of the headset, you know, which is good. But you still want to be moving software. Software is where you make the bank, the cheese, you know.
Yeah.
So right, but you got to expand your fucking things, your income sources, not just, you know, that. If you can sell more headsets just by allowing PCVR people to use it.
Yeah, but you're saying, like, let them use it on Steam. Like, how does that benefit Sony? That if somebody's buying a piece, like a Steam game, they're not getting any of that money.
Because those people are not gonna but those people are not gonna buy any fucking Sony games either way from the PS Store. So at least you're gonna get some money out of it because you're gonna get.
They get the money from the headsets, but they won't get the money from the game on Steam.
Right, but fucking better than nothing, bitch.
But what if they're selling? What if they're selling the headset at a loss? What if they're doing that? Then it's actually costing them, and they're not getting anything back. So if they're selling at a loss, then the whole thing is like they're making the money back from the software.
About this shit, but then of course, if they're selling at a loss, then that's not really gonna do much.
But even if they're selling it at a profit, like it's probably 150, something like that. It's not huge amounts, so I don't know. It'd be worth their while.
Dude, of course it would.
Maybe. Ezeki says, I wish it would work on PC. I would return my Quest 3 so fast.
You see?
Donnie says, yeah, but he's not saying I would buy a PlayStation game.
Zeke, can you tell him already so he can shut up? Tell him, Zeke.
It would benefit people like Ezeki who want that improvement, but it's not going to benefit Sony. Unless they start bringing all their, like, because there's talk of them doing a PC store, like Steam or something like that. So if they do that, and then they make PSVR2 compatible with that on PC, I could see that working. But that's not there yet. Donnie says, what Sony should have done was make PSVR2 backwards compatible. What a ball drop. I think people make a bigger deal of backwards compatibility than it actually is, personally speaking. Look at the PS4, it didn't have any backwards compatibility and it sold like hotcakes. Obviously, we want to play like our Astro Bots and Resident Evil 7, etc. But I think at the end of the day, what we want is new games, new experiences. We drop €600 on that thing. I want games that look like a next generation, you know, and leap up. I don't care too much. Like, it would be nice. I'm not saying it wouldn't be nice. I would like it. But it's not the reason it's not selling, I don't think. The real ball drop was the PSVR 1 controllers, says War Room. That was terrible at the time, all right.
Yeah.
It's like crazy how much better the Sense controllers are now. Like, I couldn't go back. I don't think I could go back to like a move controlled game.
No.
I just don't think I could do it. Donnie says, and if the PSVR 2 was backwards compatible, then that wouldn't be an issue. Like Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 1. Worm says, can't be compatible because of the controllers. Oh, that's what you mean. The real ball drop, yeah. Yeah, something like Astrobot, because Astrobot like relies on the DualShock, doesn't it? Like, it's in the game. You see the DualShock a lot. You're holding this, so like they can't track the DualSense.
Yeah, it has the light tracking in the controller, so it moves it. Yeah.
So that'd be a
That's why they had to change it all for Moss Book 1 and 2, because that used the controller as well. But then they had to reconfigure it to use the sense
add all that shit in, yeah. So that'd be a pain. It wouldn't be a simple port. You'd have to put some work into that.
Yeah.
Roy Schwartz says, I saw that the Apple Vision Pro costs $1,500 to make. For real? Then they're making $1,500? Like, what? Is that actually? It's more than that, isn't it? Is it $2,000 then they're making? Is it $3,500 to buy an Apple Vision Pro?
Yeah.
So $2,000 profit on every single one of them things.
Apple doesn't give a shit. There's like we're Apple. People are gonna buy our stuff no matter what we do, so it doesn't matter.
Will they though? I don't think that's gonna sell. I know it's the first generation and yada yada, but that's crazy.
They'll always have their hardcore Apple fans that just want anything new that's Apple.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. In the next couple of days, we get some really good news. You know, a price drop would be really good news. Some kind of a roadmap would be really.
You're not
good
gonna
news.
get anything.
We're probably not going to get anything.
Disappointment.
He's probably right.
Disappointment.
He's probably right. All right.
Keep an eye open on your Sunday morning paper delivery, and maybe they'll have a little article in the corner.
Yeah, front page news. Months. They're taking $20 off the cost of a PSVR 2. But yeah, there's nothing. Is there anything else to say about this?
No, you milked the shit out of this topic.
I tried to. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Next up then is Vail VR, which is coming. Actually, it's already out now on Quest, I think.
Yep.
It's a hotness kind of a PvP online shooter. As you can see in the trailer, there, it's got like a futuristic kind of a sci-fi look going on. It's been on PC for a long time, I think. I think there's even like a tournament.
An early access.
Yeah.
It's the hot newness.
It's the hot newness. There you go. Put it on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
So what else do I want to say about this? Okay, so you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why are we talking about this? Because PSVR2 channel. Anyway, I don't know if you know Crook Gaming. He's over there on the Twitter. He's also just been in the chat every once in a while. But he is really big into this game. Like, he's been following it for a while on PC, and I saw him tag Without Parole in a comment because he's in the Vail Discord, and he was asking about a PSVR2 port, and they said that they're hoping for a 2024 release, but they need to sort out a load of stuff like the partying system and friends lists and all this kind of stuff. So it does sound like it's basically confirmed without being officially confirmed, but they're openly talking about it. So here's another shooter coming to PSVR 2. And this trailer looks fairly slick, I must say. Got a lot of weapon customization and stuff going on.
So I don't know. I probably don't know as much about this game as you guys do. Is this just PvP, or is it a co-op?
From what I understand, it's just PvP.
It's PvP.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
I think it's PvP.
like team-based.
I've heard when it came out, it was a little iffy, like the graphics or whatever. But there was people that were really like a fucking hardcore community that play this shit. And then it was really hyped up. A lot of people play, and then I've heard it kind of, was kind of dead for a little bit, or at least the amount of people that played it dropped quite significantly. But then I've heard that people went back to the game now that it just came out, and people are having fun. It's not a bad game. I don't heard like it's amazing, but I've heard it's fun. So I'm excited for it. I mean, I want to see more. I mean, I know I can just go online and fucking see the people playing, but what I've seen, it looks fun. So I think it'll be cool to get this as well soon, so we can add it to the rotation.
Yeah, it looks fairly solid compared to what else we have.
No customization of the characters. That's kind of lame, but I get what they're doing. Or at least it doesn't look like it. They're pretty basic bitches.
So just to keep everyone easily identifiable, that these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. It's like there's guys in white and there's guys in black, and that's basically.
I mean, I still shot you and Breachers, even though we're the same color. But I guess
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Shut your mouth. You should have not shot me. Ezekiel says probably won't get anything. Maybe a new ad saying "Happy 1 year anniversary." Probably keep your expectations like that, and then you won't be too disappointed. Finn or Fine says, what exactly are they upgrading with the PS5 Pro? Who knows? It's not even official. I know it's heavily rumored and there's been all kinds of leaks and stuff like that, but I'm just going to wait. I'm not even going to entertain us until it's official, and then I'll worry about it then. They'll probably have like a 2 terabyte hard drive in us instead of the fucking 800 gigs we have. And whatever they'll put in there will just boost frames, I'd imagine.
It would have to be.
Yeah,
it would have to be it would have to be like a very substantial upgrade in terms of what it does for video games that you play. Because I don't think I'd be interested if it didn't. Well, I would say it'd have to do something good for PSVR 2, but I don't even know if that would be like.
Yeah. What if they're like Capcom coming along? It's like, oh yeah, we can run these now native 120, no reprojection, stuff like that. That'd be tempting enough, but I still don't think I'd jump because I'm still happy enough with what they are like now.
Yeah.
I kind of regret the PS4 Pro as well. It didn't really. I know Jack Boss disagrees. He seems to think it was a big jump, but for me, I didn't really get as much out of it as I was expecting. For PSVR 1 at least. Some games did. Arizona Sunshine, the original, was vastly improved.
No, not for the VR. Not for the VR whatsoever.
Well, that's mostly what I care about, so that's why I'm kind of not too interested. Smooth Brain DLC skin pack, says Warren. Is this the one with the Smooth Brain DLC skin pack?
I think so.
LSP says, oh wait, no. Vail is very impressive, says Roy Schwartz. just like Breachers, says Donnie. It just came up, but it's been like, I think people have been playing this for a long time in early access on PC. So I know it just became 1.0 or whatever, so it's officially out. But you know, people have been playing it for a long time. There's a big jump in the trailer, so maybe perks. Maybe is there perks? Do you know, Jackpot? Is there a perk system in this game or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know nothing about this
I
game.
don't know nothing about anything
But-
either.
What do you mean? I know a lot of stuff, but not about this.
Name 3 things you know.
I know
You
Madison.
can't do it.
is coming
You
out
can't do
next month.
it. You can't. You ran out of time. You ran out of time. Brandon says, "Sup, Paul? How you doing, Brandon?" Mad Hasser says, "Wasn't there a bunch of stuff surrounding NFTs in this at some point? Interesting. Haven't been paying attention to that. Is NFTs? I feel like that's kind of died off now. And, you know, nobody talks about that
it's
anymore.
Thankfully going
Fucking
away.
Scam
No
people,
one
make so
cares.
much money and fucking scam people.
I never understood it. I still don't understand it, and it looks like I never needed to understand this. All I did was I
It's
eventually
simple.
learned it's like non-fungible tokens or fungible. I don't know what a fungible is or fungible, but there you go.
Fungible.
Fungus.
All you had to know was, hey, buy this little picture of this gorilla, and it's yours. You own it.
Yeah.
Buy it.
It's like just-
$20,000.
I enjoyed
You
the
can-
memes.
You can sell it later. You can sell it later for more money. So
I remember
just buy
like
it.
Jimmy Fallon's like, "Oh, here's my bored ape," and Paris Hilton's like, "Oh, here's my bored ape, Jimmy." It was very weird.
Idiot.
It was very weird.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Fainer Fine says, unless we get 8,000 or 8K, sorry, or 90 to 120 frames, I don't think it's worth getting a PS5 Pro. But that's going to be the thing. It's going to be like a game by game basis, you would imagine. Some developers will go for it, some developers won't. Like Donnie says, that's on the devs, exactly. But damn, what if they like really, like Gran Turismo 7 is a game that would really get significantly enhanced with you know, like 120 native or something like that. That would look really nice.
And it would be able to run the game exactly how it looks when it's flat. Like it wouldn't have any like
yeah, like maybe they'd be like, oh, by the way, we can do ray tracing in VR games now.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Maybe you get tempted. The pros in anticipation of GTA 6, says Roy Schwartz. That could be a big selling point. Like bundle it with GTA 6 and be like, hey, it runs way better than an Xbox because they're not doing like a mid-generation.
Bundle it with Grand Theft Auto 6. Rockstar would no way in hell allow that.
I don't know. Why not? They still get money, don't they? They still get paid out of that.
It's not gonna.
I don't know. They got like a marketing deal with them, I think, or they've had them. Didn't Red Dead Redemption 2 launch with a PS4 Pro bundle? I thought it did.
You know what you're
Maybe it
talking
came out
about.
later on though, but whatever. Anyway, that's Vail.
Yeah. Eventually it did. I think you're right.
This trailer looks better than I think I did see like gameplay of this before. Obviously, it was early access, and I was thinking to myself, "Damn, this is rough. I don't care about it." But this trailer has piqued my interest.
Yeah,
It's good.
I
People
can't really
say
get
it's
a.
good.
I can't get really like it doesn't do the gameplay long enough for me to get a feel of how quick the movement is. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a lot
the
of quick
pace of it.
cuts and
Yeah.
flashy.
like it doesn't stay on a shot for more than like half a second. So I'll need to like actually watch some gameplay, see if it's something that I want to get. But
It's like a camera zoomed in on the barrel of a gun. And it's like, all right, that's cool, but you'll never do that in the game or see it like that. Anyway, next topic then is No Man's Sky, the game that keeps on giving, and it's once again giving us a new update called the Omega update.
Need to give us an update that we can all fucking play together without any issues.
I don't think they're ever going to fix that.
maybe it's fixed now. We don't know. How long has it been since we?
I just feel like I was talking to somebody who's like, I think you might have been there, but I was asking them like, oh, they were like really into No Man's Sky, and he's like, oh yeah, multiplayer's always been buggy as fuck. So it's like I don't know if that's something that'll ever be fixed, or because if it's not fixed for flat people, then I don't know what hope we have. I don't even know if it's just a VR specific issue, but it just seems to happen to us so much that I assumed it was a VR specific issue, but maybe not. Anyway, this update adds like a bunch of stuff for like quests. You can do like procedurally generated quests now, and so basically just more infinite content. And it's also free for a month. There's like a trial thing going on, so until like the 15th of March, or something, you can just download it. So if you've got PSVR2 and you want to know what this is like, you can just go ahead and get it. I really recommend you try it out. It's worth it just to fly into space for the first time. That shit was iconic. Top 5 PSVR2 moments.
Well, the most important update that they did to the game was they finally made it so you can fly your ship using the Sense controller.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that wasn't like in the last patch.
That was in the previous, the previous patch. So you can use your Sense controllers, and then when you get in your ship, you just put your Sense controllers down, pick up your dual sense, and you just start flying with the controller. Yeah, it was really good.
The way God intended.
Yep. So much better.
Amazing. LSB says, I like this game's style. I'm guessing he's talking about Vail and not No Man's Sky. But LSB says, reminds me of that movie Equilibrium. Oh yeah, it kind of does have that kind of a futuristic, everything's sleek and clean. Durbin Brown is here with his Ghost playing with the playing with the Move controllers. Nice to see you, Durbin Brown. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, I booted up No Man's Sky the last day actually just to try it out, just to see if I could pick up on any differences since the update came out. And because I still don't really know what's going on in that game, so like I could have been interacting with something new and I wouldn't have known, if you know what I mean. There's like so much in this game; it's really hard to get into.
It has a lot of shit in this game.
Yeah,
but that's good.
And that's exactly what would happen if you tried to stream this game. You would just get in, not have any idea what you're doing for an hour and a half. Yeah.
And I always play in creative mode as well, just because it's like, I don't have to worry about gathering 20 of these so I can craft this thing to refuel my jazz or whatever. So so people love this game. I understand why they do, but there's enough in this game to put me off.
Yeah. So there's obviously there's YouTube streamers that are only play this, and they have their own audience for the hardcore.
A big audience, like a big audience too, and they're like, oh, let's create a city together, and you see these amazing creations that they do. It's like, how come I never see that when I'm playing? It's like, how do you do this?
Yeah, I know.
But it's all there. I'm just too lazy to figure it out.
Yes, you are.
Next topic. Shut up, bitch. What's bitch? What's bitch in Spanish? Pero, puta,
perra, maybe.
Pera. All right, shut up, pera.
Not
Anyway,
pera, that's pear, bitch. That's a pear. You just say pear. In
pear? Like the fruit? Are you saying pear?
You said pear.
I didn't say pear. I said pear.
I didn't see the difference. I was just saying. What? Next topic. Nobody can ever understand. Your A and R's together. That's your kryptonite. A and R together.
Yeah. It's your kryptonite. It lives in your head rent free. You cannot stop obsessing over it. For me, it's just another day.
I'm not used to it.
I'll drop it on you and then I'll forget about it. I don't even care. It's just another day for me.
No, it's just I just can't understand you.
Donnie says puta. I agree. I'm gonna call you puta. Headbite says relaxed mode save is the answer. What's relaxed mode? Is that a new type of mode? I know there's creative mode, which I assumed would have been the relaxed mode, because there's nothing that bothers me in creative mode. I can't die. I have infinite resources. So I don't know.
What is this on the screen? What did you put?
This is I forgot. Hubris got a free update that came out, and it's called the Arena update, where you basically one of the complaints about this game is that the combat wasn't as maybe a big a focus as some people wanted, so they've added this arena mode where you're going up against kind of waves of enemies, and there's 3 tiers of difficulty, and it's free, which is always nice. And basically that's it. That's all I can tell you about this. Damn, they didn't even bring out a trailer for us. I'm not interested, to be honest.
Damn, you're not interested?
Not interested, I don't think.
I only played I played the demo. That's all I played at this game.
Yeah,
it didn't hook me enough to feel like buying it. So
it was cool. But it's like an average kind of a game, It's not amazing.
Isn't this the game that everybody's jizzing about on the PC that they say was really good? No,
I don't think so.
No, that's Vertigo. I think you're thinking of Vertigo 2.
Vertigo.
Yeah, Vertigo 2. Okay.
Yeah, the swimming in this actually was kind of interesting. I like that, but yeah, kind of slow or something.
I don't think they showed their best of the game with that demo. I think they should have maybe
they did. Maybe they did.
Well, watching this trailer, I'm seeing some cool
downhill from there.
I'm seeing some cool looking shit in this that it's like, all right, well, why couldn't I do that in the demo? Maybe that would have been more impressive. Me to want to get it.
Now that you mention it, it's reminding me of like the weird squid tentacle things you had to collect and put them into the machine and mix them up. And it's like, I don't know, maybe I will come back to this when it gets like a price drop or something. Like, it wasn't bad.
No,
Maybe a 7 or an 8 out of 10 or something like that. From based just purely on the demo. Anyway, next topic, last topic.
Last topic already. I just got here.
all over.
It's got here like 40 minutes ago.
The Exorcist VR Legion, which is a game that was on PSVR 1, and I played it, and I really enjoyed episode 1, 2, and 3. 4 and 5 were a little bit, went downhill a little bit, but episode 3 was definitely one of the scariest experiences on
Which
PSVR
one was the
1.
3 with the mannequins or with the baby?
Mannequins and the baby.
The mannequins.
They're both in episode 3. Like there's a cradle in the attic and all the mannequins standing around us. Yeah, that shit was fucking. You played that?
Yes, bitch. 1, 2, and 3. I shit my pants.
I thought you were too scared to play any horror games.
Well, that's why I don't play them anymore, because I play this. So originally was like, fuck, why am I doing this to myself? I never want to play a scary game. But it's good. It's really good. Yeah, I remember this shit.
Anyway, so the developers of this game, I think Fun Train, they replied to somebody on Twitter who was asking about a PSVR 2 port. So they said, to answer your question, it is coming to PSVR 2. That's not a quote directly, but I'm paraphrasing. And with a lot of cool enhancements. So you can probably assume there's going to be, the haptics and headset rumbles going on, and hopefully some other shit would be like, actually.
Well, they're working on number 2. They've been working on number 2 for a while.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's the same people working on number 2. Maybe it's a different studio working on number 2. I don't know, but there is a sequel coming out called Sin, I think. Sin is actually like stands for something. I can't remember what it stands for.
Well, there was the developers of this game. They were on Twitter like fucking a year ago, and they did a bunch of polls about where would you guys want for the second game. And most people say just fucking make it co-op or like multiplayer, like fucking Phasmophobia. And then and they kind of imply like, okay, maybe that's the route we want. So I thought that they were gonna, it was the same developers, but you're right. Maybe it's a different developer that is working on the sequel.
I think they confirmed like 2-player co-op for the sequel. I think. Yeah. Anyway, so because of that tweet, somebody, sorry, I felt like I was gonna burp, but it didn't come. Somebody saw it on some Reddit user saw us and put it on Reddit. So then the developers saw that on Reddit, and they posted on the Reddit post saying, we're glad to see all the excitement for the PSVR 2 release of the Exorcist Legion VR. We can confirm that we passed certification and are very close to announcing a release date. Stay tuned on our socials. We're very eager to share updates where we can. So it could be any day now. Maybe this will be an anniversary update for all we know. That's coming. I don't know. There's no obviously details other than that. So we don't know if you already own it. Will you get, some kind of an upgrade path for free or a discount or something? But I'd probably just buy episode 3 by itself if I could. Just to stream. Right. That's a good one to stream. At least for Halloween or something. Finn says, is Spyro the Dragon in VR a good idea?
I've heard it's pretty good for the people that played it on the PC with the injector mod. They say it works pretty good. Those type of games, they play Spyro and it says it works good.
There you go. There's your answer. I suppose that'd work better than Crash, wouldn't it? Because in Crash you got to spin around really fast. That'd make you sick.
No, there's actually, depends on the camera angle, but there's some people that, because that Crash game, it's also Unreal Engine, and they have it with like, the same view as and the game, but it's in flat. Okay. You're in there, third person, or there's some people that is first person, but it doesn't spin the camera when the character spins. I think
what's the point? That's cheating. Either do it right or don't do it wrong.
Shut up.
Spin around 200 times
what I've seen. But yes, it works. It works.
Everyone has to get sick playing this game. That's the only way it works.
Eat the mango. Roy Schwartz says strength in number. Oh, that says strength in numbers multiplayer. Yeah, so it's the name Exorcist Sin is like implying it's multiplayer. Thank you, Roy. Durban Brown says this is the same Exorcist game. It's the same one. But it's been like they didn't use the word remastered, but it's practically going to be a remaster, and it's good. It's one of the best horror games on PSVR 1. I think this
it is really good.
And what's the other one? Paranormal Activity. Was it The Lost Soul or something? I can't remember the subtitle for that one, but that was a really good one too. Some of the best horrors in PSVR 1. Brandon says
Resident
they need.
Evil 7 still the best.
Brandon says they need a
Is that
$150
horror,
price
though?
drop. 7, yeah, 7 is well, like once you get guns, it's less scary.
Right, right. With guns, I don't know. I haven't played it.
But then there's
most
more
of it,
parts
but-
further in where you like lose your guns again, or you swap to the female character and she's got nothing, and she's being hunted down by marguerites or something. So there is like more horror in it compared to.
Because this game and fucking Paranormal Activity, they're fucking scary as shit. At least
I think
for
it's a
me, they
way
were.
scarier than any of the Resident Evils. So if you're able to play these games, then I think you'd be fine with Resident Evil.
Lame.
We'll see
But
how
Resident
Madison
Evil's
is.
cooler. Anyway, sorry. Oh yeah, Madison's gonna fucking. I think Madison will be on this kind of level, where
Yes.
it's not you don't care. But it's not about combat. It's about being fucking terrified constantly.
Yeah.
The tension. So yeah, Brandon says they need a 150 price drop. I think we can I think we all agree they need that, but I don't think any of us agrees that they'll realistically do that. Like that's a lot to drop down.
If we're lucky, they drop it $50.
Yeah. And that's wishful thinking. Brandon says it's definitely not selling, but maybe they're not making a loss, so they don't have any on hand to put on discount. I mean, they probably made like $1 million at launch, and they've been sitting on it. Well, listen, we don't know how much they've sold. But yeah, that's the end of that topic. So that brings us to the fax machine, and we're not even an hour in. I told you this would be the shortest one ever.
Embarrassing.
Didn't I tell you?
Embarrassing. It's your
Didn't I
fault.
tell you? The intro's playing.
It's that time again.
Well, it's your fault. You should have.
Questions and topics submitted by
What
our
should I do?
viewers. So let's
You should
go
have
to
done
our
more
fax
research. There's another
machine
topic we're
And
and
gonna
no
see
more
talk
what
about.
we
topics.
have.
That's it.
Fax me
Exhausted
harder,
now.
Daddy. I've been a bad
nothing
boy.
else
One
happening
that we
anywhere
could have,
here.
but you blew it.
There
There's this
is-
game Decepticon sent me that it's coming to PSVR 2.
What is this? Why is he not telling me? Why is he telling you?
Because he fucking hates you
Why
because
does
you
he
did
hate
shit to
him?
him. You
You
shit
did it
to
too.
him.
You were in that video as well.
I fucking
I-
throw you under the bus. I told
Yeah,
him I had
bet you
nothing to
did.
do with
I
it.
bet you did.
I told him it was a horrible idea. Anyways, what is this called?
We're
It's
still
called-
best friends because I had nothing to do with that video. So
You were so close to being in it.
no,
Finn-
I had not. I didn't want anything to do with it. Leave me out.
You're like, wow, this is really
I-
good. Let
I-
me know. Let me make sure I'm in the next one if you do it again.
No,
All right,
no,
that's what he said.
No, I was
Word for
like,
word.
I don't think this is right. I don't think you should do this to my friend Decepticon. It doesn't seem
Anyway,
right at all.
Finn says you guys hear anything on PlayStation making haptic suits? No, but I heard that they're going to support the B haptics. Isn't that true? Like I heard, like that support is coming to PS4 too. Maybe it's not. I don't know, but that's what I heard.
Yes, yes, it is.
Fozzie Bear says you boys hear about massive return race of Apple VR. No, I didn't hear about that. But I would wonder what massive means. Like, is that are we talking more than 10%?
Once people are starting to realize that they can do the exact same stuff on the Quest 3 that they
Yeah.
can do on the Apple,
Just buy
they're like,
Quests
wait a second.
for everyone in
Yeah,
the
wait a
family.
second. Yeah, why can't I just buy like 2 of these for cheaper?
And Brandon confirmed that B haptics will be coming to Breachers on PSVR 2. So there you go.
Nice.
So anyway, we're in the fax machine portion of the show, which means we're going to be wrapping up soon. But the first one is from LSB. Thank you very much, LSB, for writing in as always. He says, will you ever stream a flat game, Pumpkins? Perhaps Metal Gear Solid Delta. If I ever do it, it'll be like on the Twitch
Helldivers.
channel that I never use, or maybe a members only thing. I will never put like flat stuff on the main channel that would like for everyone to see, because that just fucks up with your, like, YouTube punishes you when you do stuff like that. Plus the people subscribing to me have subscribed for virtual reality. It's like, well, if I wanted to see somebody play Helldivers, for example, I'll go watch, fucking Dr. Disrespect
Not
or
you.
somebody. Yeah, exactly, not me.
Not you for anything.
Your bitch ass mouth. You
Just
are
go
literally
buy-
a co-host on my podcast. How did
Sabotaging from the
obsessed.
inside.
You're obsessed with
Buy
it.
Helldivers to build it on Twitch, and then that's it. You have fun.
LSP says,
You're
even GT made a Helldivers video. He did, and I saw when he posted he tweeted us, he was like, this is the scariest video I've ever made. Because he knows he could be punished by YouTube for doing that.
He wasn't
Unfortunately.
playing it, to be honest. Like, he was, to be fair, he wasn't. He was just.
He doesn't really do like live streams on the channel anymore, does he? Like, it's all just
No.
like videos, that's what he should be doing.
Yeah.
Why?
Because live streaming doesn't get you anything.
Of course it does.
You don't
bitch.
grow,
only
you
time-
don't grow that way.
You get engagement.
The only time that you want to do a live gaming is like when the game first launches and like
Yeah.
on the first day.
Yeah,
Like the
that's
like
when the iron is hot. When the iron is hot.
Listen. I'm not telling
well,
you.
that's when people want to tune in to see if they want to get it or not. Like to see if
You're
they wanna
gonna like sometimes right GT plays right and he records his gameplay and then he just puts the best parts and talks about it. You're gonna fucking play the game either way. Might as well fucking play it, stream it, get interaction and all that, and then if fucking you want to do that, you're gonna fucking edit the video of your gameplay and just put it in there, and make a video about it.
But that's
You know what I
massive
mean?
amount of work. Like then, like the time I
You're
have
gonna-
on the
but
channel
you-
is the time I stream. So I either cut out time for streaming. Like when else do I do it? You know.
But
Anyway,
you're
that's
gonna
not
play
what,
either way.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that.
Okay, so
I'm
how
just
is it gonna
saying-
make any difference?
I'm
Anyways,
saying
you're an
like
idiot.
doing
Next
streaming
topic.
only, which is what I'm doing, is stupid of me.
You're stupid.
The next one is from we know him as Roy Schwartz, but over here he's known as Rizmaster Blueface. He says
Bag o' ham.
Bag
Bag o'
of ham,
ham.
another name. He's got a man of many names. A suspicious individual. He says, if you ran your own small country, what would be your number one rule?
Damn.
Number one.
Number
rule.
one.
Why is it a small country? Like, does that changes? Like if it was a
I
big...
will-
Anyway,
I will institute prima nocta for.
Jesus. Damn, I
don't
didn't know you
know.
were like that. I didn't know you were like that, Mus. Jackpot doesn't know what that means because he doesn't live in a
No.
medieval country. It's back when the people used to get married and it would be like the king would have the rights of the first night with the wife. So I'm guessing Muz would be on the every honeymoon. Every honeymoon Muz is there.
Yep. What was it?
Damn.
Damn, hope Amanda's isn't listening. Is Amanda in the room with you, Muz? She better not be.
No.
She's not. Alright, shit.
Jackpot, what's your number one rule?
Fuck, I don't know. That's a hard question. There's a lot of them, but
Number one.
I don't know. The Muzz one is pretty good. So
Disgusting.
after that,
Rapist.
one,
Hey,
It's like, I want to be a rapist. That's my number one rule.
I don't know.
Jesus
No.
Iron Man said that in one of the Avengers movies, so
Yeah, but
he was
he's
allowed
weird.
to.
He makes fucking
I don't know.
millions, Muzz. He can say whatever he wants. You're going to prison.
I'm just
You're
saying.
going to
I'm just
prison.
saying. It was in a mainstream Disney-owned Marvel cinematic movie,
All right.
and he said that.
Damn.
All right.
So
I'll allow it. Listen, I'm not saying you can't say it. That's your choice. That's your choice, Muzz. All right.
no one's.
My one is going to be I'm going to ban in ketchup. No ketchup allowed in my country.
What?
That's the ban. And
Mine is no
under punishment
pineapple.
of death. If I catch you with ketchup, you get executed. I don't care who you
Get
are.
hang.
Yeah, public hanging.
Yeah, I don't.
Public
I
hanging.
think pineapples for me. No pineapples allowed.
No
No pineapples. You get hang. If you see I don't like pineapples.
All right, there you go.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Fucking hate them. Fucking hate them.
And that's all it grows in there. Yeah, that's fucking all it grows in town. Pineapples.
I'm just trying to catch up on some of the chats here. Flat causes motion sickness is important. Finn says, great to hear. I want to feel where the bullets hit on Pavlov. But yeah, I think just because the PlayStation supports it, I assume the games themselves will need to be updated so that the Beat Haptics Vest will work with them. It's not just... so breaches have confirmed it, but I don't know if the Pavlov devs have said anything about that. Worm says, we subbed for the access to Muzz. Well, he's all yours. All right. He's got his own little cam show that happens, and my members only cam show. Where he shows you his brown eye.
Feet. I'll get
Rubbing his feet with mayonnaise.
Damn.
mayonnaise.
For the camera.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's
Maple syrup. Maple syrup. Come on now.
Damn.
Important says, live stream Red Matter 2 smooth brain doing puzzles will be hilarious. I beat Red Matter 1, and listen, the only time I've ever had trouble with a puzzle in a live stream is fucking remember that Contagion game on PSVR 1? There was like a light puzzle. There was like all these 9 squares, and you had to light them up a certain way. And I was there like an hour trying to figure out how to do this. And I went through it first time. I got it first time, like in 2 minutes. I just had randomly hit the buttons, and then the game glitched. So I had to start the level again and had to redo it in the second time. I was just stood there for so long trying to figure that shit out. But that was my only weakness, that light puzzle.
Just from the stress of knowing everyone's watching, you fail, and you're just like, oh man, they're all watching. I
Thanks,
can't do
G-Dub.
it.
G-Dub just subscribed. Thank you very much for that. It makes me moist, as the lady says. Durban Brown says live streams barely even get you an hour-long show these days. Sarcasm, says Durban Brown. Doing live streams is a good way to get your time watched for your YouTube channel. It is, but listen, I'm not here to talk about. We can talk about these things in the Discord, but I don't want to talk about them during this. Important says you have to leave the country when you're 18 and you can't come back till you're 19. Says Important. Damn. Gonna make you everybody has to be an asylum seeker for a year. Number one law, says Donnie, from my country is VR gaming daily. It seems kind of harsh for the people who suffer from motion sickness, Donnie.
We'll have to get over it. Force their way through it.
Warren says number two law. No mayonnaise in my country either, says Important. And Reg says, I thought rule number one would be no Australians. No, we already got rid of the Australians, and they weren't even Australians, they were Irish, and then they turned into Australians. Problem solved there, Rogue, like a couple of 100 years ago. Worm says number one law, anyone who doesn't turn right at a stoplight dies. I don't understand that one, to be honest with you. Turn right at a stoplight. What about man glaze? Is that cum?
I think that's what he means, yes.
Man glaze.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by that, Donnie. Brandon says, pretty sure Sony only profits 75. I think Brandon is like watching us from like 2 hours ago. Well, not 2 hours ago, obviously, because we're not on that long, but like 50 minutes ago or something. We got a couple more questions from Brave Sir Robin.
Oh boy.
So his first one is,
would you rather?
Yes. Would you rather?
Oh my god, here we go. Here we go.
This is the best. We should just do a podcast called Would You Rather and then just do
Let me
these
get my
all
friend.
day. Would you rather always have to lie or always tell the truth?
Fuck.
That's
That's a good one.
This is one where he's been Googling the philosophical ones,
All day.
Would you
Always have to lie.
Yeah.
Always have to tell the truth.
I guess always tell the truth.
I think if you always had to lie, you could trick it, if you know what I mean. So let's say
Yeah.
say if
that's what I was
somebody
thinking.
asks you if you're hungry, you could say I'm not hungry. That's your way of telling. Like, everyone would hate you. Everyone would hate you. You'd be the most annoying person, but you could still get your points across.
It's just an outcast. That's a tough one. Because if you can only tell the truth, you're gonna end up like hurting someone's feelings easily, or like saying something that you shouldn't be saying.
That.
Well, you don't have to. Like, I would imagine it's like only if you're asked something. So it's not like if you see like a fat dude, you wouldn't go up to him and say, "I think you're fat." It's just
That
like,
would be even better. It's like you're forced to say whatever's in your brain.
People are fat.
Everything just comes out.
You have to think out loud.
Yeah, but if somebody came up to you and said, "Do you think that guy's fat?" then you would have to say yes. So
Right.
it wouldn't be too bad, maybe.
True.
So maybe always
Yeah.
tell the truth,
I'll say tell the truth.
even though it's probably going to sting you in the ass in multiple ways.
I think both of them would eventually, so
Yeah,
might as well take the high ground doing it.
jackpot.
I told you the truth.
He's already lying.
No, Rich.
Worm says Americans can turn right at stoplights, but some are too stupid to realize this. Stoplight, so like a red light, you can turn right.
Yes, you can turn
Yes.
right on a red light
And
Yes.
as long as
Over
there's
here.
nothing. As long as there's nothing coming and you're free to do so. Yeah.
Over here, we got like normally like two lights, so there might be like a red light, but then there'll be like a green arrow pointing left that'll turn on when you're allowed to turn. But
Well, yeah, that's here too. If it's left,
have that
but if
too.
it's right, there's no right arrow. Well, there
Yeah,
is
but
some.
you drive
but
on
if
the
it's
different
not-
side of the road, so it's like kind of the same, if you know what I mean. So your right is my left, So
Yeah.
I know, but I don't know. It's confusing.
It is
But yeah.
confusing. Shut up.
Cool story.
Anyway, truth says way more voice is important. LSB laughing. He says the truth will get you to heaven according to the nuns. Index is. I'm not even going to read Brennan's comments because they're like an hour ago. Importance is follow-up question. If you had to tell the truth all the time, would you have any family or friends or family left after a month? I think so.
Well, I think so. Like the questions that would get you in trouble, like quote unquote trouble, wouldn't happen like daily. Like that kind of stuff would be like very random. That people would ask you something like super, like hurtful if you said the wrong thing, right? So like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's not like
it
your
would
significant
just be
other
more-
comes up and says, "Have you been thinking about another woman today?" or something like that. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't happen often.
Yeah. It would be more stupid shit that you would just be like blurting out like
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I think
True thing.
telling the truth is probably the safest way
Yeah.
to go. Donnie says, "I don't give a fuck because that's what I do all the time. Tell the truth." Damn, Donnie, you're such a liar.
Damn. Don is going straight to heaven.
Important says, "What do you think would get me in a lot of trouble?" Dan, that's true. Yeah. If it's literal, if somebody comes up to you and says like, "Oh, what do you think?" and then you blurt out anything you're thinking, or is it because they're obviously talking about what do you think about so and so, like a certain situation, and then you give your honest opinion about that? You know, like what do you think about Israel and Gaza or something like that, rather than what do you think, and you're thinking about two dudes pulling their foreskin over each other, and then you have to say that out loud, like that's a different situation. All right. I'm whooping my ass. Yeah, next question. Sorry. Brave's last question says, "Would you saw your foot off with a butter knife for $10 million?"
Wait. If we'll cut our foot off with a butter knife for $10 million?
Yeah, would you do that?
no.
Probably not. No.
I don't know if I'd be able to.
I don't think you
Even
could.
if you
I
tell
don't
me
think
that
I-
I'll go to the doctor and they get amputated and I'm asleep and I wake up without a foot,
Yeah.
I think my foot.
I think there's
I don't
something
know.
in most people's brains that would just not allow you to do it. Like I don't think you
Yeah,
could.
you want to survive. Like you want to be able to just walk down the road without any issues. You know,
Yeah, that's
10 million's
no,
nice,
thanks.
but yeah,
No.
I'm relatively happy being on the border on the bread line, so I'll keep my foot, please.
Yeah.
And I mean, not every VR game has a sitting down feature. So I mean,
Well, there you go.
until that day comes, I just can't risk it. I just can't risk it.
I mean, you could get a prosthetic or whatever, but still.
I wouldn't. It wouldn't be very comfortable playing
So
standing up.
NSB says he would do it. Durban Brown says no. Donnie says 10 million I could buy a new foot, so yes. A golden foot for Donnie. NSB says I'd be one rich peg leg having motherfucker. Important says, can I surgically reattach the foot afterwards? I would imagine if you had to do it with a butter knife, it's not going to be clean.
No,
It's like you're really going to butcher the meat down
But I don't even know if it. I mean, how are you gonna get through the bone with the butter?
That's it. I was thinking about the bones. Like the pain would be
not
fucking
gonna work.
ridiculous.
You're just gonna have to like just fucking
you
break
would never
it.
be able to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But if he says, yeah, no, you're not allowed to break it. You have to do it with the butter knife. No, that's
Well,
what he
you'll
says.
never fucking do it.
Yeah,
You'll
well,
be
that's
there
it.
for
You'll be there
hours.
for, yeah, be there
You'll
for like 2
fucking
weeks.
make fire out of that friction
You-
with your bone.
You would bleed. You would bleed out and die from that.
Yeah.
My hand will be fucked hole in the butter knife. Trying to like.
But even if it's easy, even if it's one slash and then whatever, no pain, I wake
Yeah.
up, I still want my foot.
Yeah.
$10 million is a lot of money, but not enough.
No. What about 10 billion?
Yes. Sign me up.
What's the difference? What are you
Yeah.
buying with the 10
I'll
billion that you couldn't
have-
do with the 10 million though?
Because
$10
it's
million,
not.
do you fucking see
Yeah,
the economy?
listen, I'm just saying, what is
straight out
what
go
is it
grocery
that you can't
shopping and-
get for 10 million? Like you could live a dream life with 10 million.
Right, but now
To
if you're
10
going
million you
into
can
the,
do
if you're going
comfortably,
into
but
the
there's-
billions, if you're going into the billions, it's like you and all of your family members are like not just you, like you're
I wouldn't give a fuck
taking
about
into
that. I mean,
account
of course I'll take care of them, but I wouldn't give a fuck about that. I just think that $10 million, dude, you go somewhere and you get a nice house, let's say in California, that is normal, a normal house is fucking almost $1 million. It's a fucking robbery. So $10 million for my whole life. If I wanna, and I wouldn't get a fucking $10 million home, but you know what I'm saying? 10 million versus a fucking 10 billion is a fuckload of money, dude. Like it's completely different lifestyle. So yes,
I don't know.
$1
I
billion.
think you're living like a king either way. Like you don't need to
No.
buy the
Maybe
1 million house.
Because I don't. Maybe in Ireland, but no.
You're telling me
dude.
there's a house in Texas you can get for 250,000. So buy that for
Yes,
Daz,
bitch.
and
But
then
let's
live
say,
comfortably, never
okay,
working
give
another
an
day in your
example.
life.
Yes, but I'm gonna be chilling, what, like maybe just hanging out. Maybe I'll go on vacation here and there. $10 million for a whole lifetime,
Yeah.
especially if you have kids and all this shit and medical shit and all that shit. And with them, and I'll probably make it, but I'll have to really budget my shit and all my kids and all that. With 10 billion, I don't give a fuck about nothing. About nothing I'm gonna be having. I wouldn't, but let's say fucking yachts and going to fucking private planes over here. Like your lifestyle will be completely fucking. I can't even we're having this conversation. How do you not understand 10 million versus billion?
I just think
bitch?
listen, I understand one is significantly more than the other one. I'm just saying, what is it specifically that you don't get from 10 million that you do get from 10 billion?
Not worry about a budget. Not worry about my
I
life.
don't think
and
you
have
worry
to-
about a budget. I don't think you worry about a budget with 10 million.
I don't think you understand how much $10 million
You can't-
can go away quick
Yeah.
unless you live a really, really, really.
Listen, I understand when
modest
you go to the
life.
you go to the hospital in America and you spend like 500,000 there, but over here I go to the hospital and it's like not a big deal.
What's
you know,
what's
so
the average salary in
difference-
Ireland?
the
Like
difference-
like normal, like
I
a year.
don't
The
know.
difference between the two
Well,
is
you
like
don't know,
40,000
40,000 is the average. Okay,
That's
so
it.
it's
guess.
$10 million, dude. It's not gonna get you or your whole life to pay you, your kids, and your wife, and all the fucking medical expenses, food, and if you want to travel and chill and all that. Maybe if you fucking live in a farm and be self-sufficient in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
of course $10 million is gonna live you forever. You don't have to worry about bills, but I don't know. I think you're
At 10
dumb as
at-
shit because it's different, dude.
yeah,
It's a lot
it's
more.
way different. At 10 million, you can't like on a whim. You can't be like, I want to buy like a super expensive Lamborghini. Like you still have to take into account like, okay, I only have 10 million. I can't, go overboard with like buying ridiculous things like this.
Okay.
But with 10 billion, I could go buy like a Lamborghini like once a week. Like it's crazy.
There's
Like, you
Okay.
could
there's so many
literally-
houses in LA that are more than $10 million.
Listen, I get your
Just
point. I'm
a
just saying,
fucking
for
house.
me personally, like I don't need a big fancy car. I don't need the California.
Oh, I don't
house.
need it
No,
either.
but
But
we're
just talking
talking
about
about
personal.
losing a
But I
foot.
need my foot. I need my
Losing a
foot. My
foot.
foot is worth more than $10 million. I don't want to be crippled in a fucking wheelchair in the middle of nowhere with my $10 million.
You don't need to be in a wheelchair now.
pushing
In
hay.
fairness, you can be crutches.
You know what I
You can be in
mean.
crutches.
What I'm
you can have an
saying is-
get one of them blades. You know them blades like the runners have in the Olympics.
$10 million,
One foot
you
faster.
can just chill, be comfortable in your farm, not worry about nothing. $1 billion, snort cocaines out of people's buttholes type of stuff.
Alright, okay.
all over Europe.
So you're doing it for 10 billion.
Brandon,
For $1 billion, I'll do it for $1 billion.
Brandon's comment I was seeing. Oh, I'm not live now. Wasn't live. I'm live now.
Yeah. So,
Finally caught up.
so importance is whores is the answer to what you spend the money on.
Damn, that's expensive because the 10 million you can get lots of it.
Donnie says, I've had to dig a bullet out of my leg and stitch myself up 3 times, so give me that money. Donnie, what kind of a weird, shady life are you living over there?
What? What the fuck are you
Did you say
doing?
three?
Donnie?
Did you say 3 times? He did it
Wait,
3
wait, wait,
times.
wait. Hold on,
3
read that
times.
again. Hold
He
on.
keeps shooting himself in the leg.
Stop shooting yourself down.
He's just fucking cleaning his gun. He's just keeps shooting his.
I've had to
leg
dig
off.
a bullet out of my leg and stitch myself up 3 times, so give me that money. This is exactly why I don't want.
Why, Donnie? Why don't you go to the hospital? What's wrong with you?
Donnie's into some shady stuff.
No,
He's a
no
doctor
hospitals.
of the.
No
he's-
hospitals.
He's a doctor of all the fucking, gangmen.
Give me the
Gangbangers after they
stitches.
get in
Yeah.
fucking shootouts. He goes to the neighborhood to Donnie. He fixes everybody up. Let me fix you really quick over here.
50 grand per bullet. Millions to billions is a world of differences, Donnie. LSB says, I'd be hopping my one-legged ass straight to the bank. Donnie says, I'd live in Antarctica.
Damn.
Oh, I'd rather live in Antarctica than California. Fucking communists.
Yeah, I don't
Worms,
like California.
Worms says the difference between $1 million and $1 billion is $1 billion. Brandon catching up. That was good. LSB says, I'd be one well-off handicapped bitch. And Warren says, I'm being carried around by strippers in my throne for 10 billion. Important says, you could make your own PS6 and viewer competitor and GTA 6 close for 10 billy.
For 10 billy, I'll buy Phasmo fucking dev team, and I'll just dump like a couple mil and just making the game better just because I want a good game.
Just make sure they're
not that Phasmo's not good, but yeah.
Make sure
that will never happen.
I honestly would if I ever like won a crazy lottery and I was like a billionaire or some shit. I would not for like money purposes of getting like profit. I would just literally put money into VR.
It's a hobby.
And as a hobby, and also just to rub it into the faces of all the haters. Just to force VR to be into the mainstream, whether they like it or not.
Dude come out of nowhere and fucking bought a studio and it's just making a game and not making any money, but he's fucking making the best game and embarrassing all the other studios.
I'd poach talent from all the best studios and create an ultimate VR studio.
You pay the fuck out of them.
Budgets.
Couldn't resist it.
And just turn every game, buy every studio and just say, okay, here's VR now. Here's VR now.
All VR now, yeah. Even though Activision is like 79 billion by itself, or was it 70 billion?
I'll go something more niche, but that would be cool to have that as a hobby if you're fucking loaded.
Trillionaire money.
But like importance is, I would want a GTA like clone. So I would put the money in creating that. And we've got
poor little Rockstar they would need my money. Poor Rockstar, they're hurting on money, so they would take.
They're hurting.
Yeah.
And Red Dead, throw in Red Dead too. But yeah, that's all the fax machine questions. Grand Theft Halo, Last of God of Astrobot games says War Room. That's the one he's making.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
The questions were a lot less intimidating and heartbreaking.
Less penises this time. Nipples and penises.
The most family friendly fax machine that we've had so far.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a code after this one because they see your past fax machines and like, oh my god, never.
Don't want to associate with this.
What are they talking about? Who is this brave Sir Robin guy that they're talking about, and why is he so strange?
He's just an alternate account I have.
I really
wish I could.
I really wish I could. They probably didn't even check. They probably don't look on numbers. I don't know what their process is to vet, but I wish I could. I could see if the developers from that game, the fucking skeleton game, looked at your channel and see why they didn't want to send you. Because they're like, man,
the
this
numbers
guy's just fucking.
They say 3 point something, and they're like, that's not enough.
Not enough.
It's as simple as that. Or maybe my views. Maybe my views.
It sounds kind of weird to me. I mean, I understand that it's about money, but like, it's $55 or whatever it cost them for one copy. Is it really? Because you can buy ads in Google, right? And you spend fucking $5, $15, $20, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't understand why. Obviously, your channel is not 25,000 like with a pro, whatever the fuck they have, but you still have fucking 3,450, whatever. So it's, in my opinion, big enough that developers like them should, not like I'm trying to get you to get codes. I don't give a fuck. I wish I could.
It's big enough. It's big enough for some developers. Some people see it that way, but other developers are like, no. I mean, some of them maybe are just used to like flat games and stuff, and they're like, when it comes to flat games, like 3,000 is nothing. They wouldn't look at you. So I don't know. Fozzie Bear says Pump could fulfill his dream of a functioning TV. Yeah, imagine 10 billion. Just make the whole wall a television. Good luck breaking that. I probably still would. Put like a reinforced perspex glass or whatever that's called. Get that shit.
Perspex glass?
Yeah, what's it called?
Bulletproof?
Something? Perspex? I don't know.
Well, I don't think you'd have to worry about it because you wouldn't be in that little room playing VR.
Well, yeah, I'd have a. Goddamn, can you imagine the room, like big cinema room where all the seats like just automatically slide to the side when I want to do VR? They all fold up by themselves.
Press of a button.
Man, what a magical life.
All the girls would just lay down for you at that point.
Anyway,
check this out. Click.
As promised, the shortest episode of Touching Tips. You all called me a liar. You said I say this every time, but this was only an hour and 26 minutes. So there you go.
That's fine.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
GGs.
Goodbye.
Enjoy the blog post in a couple days, everybody.
What the fuck is this?